Well, starting up the good old 2007 BMW 650i convertible, that is. So it's like the E64, whatever the chassis code. But I have been wanting to check out this car, well, an older BMW like this for some time now. As we all know, it's kind of based off the 5 Series, but most importantly, it is an older vehicle, so I would just like to see how this bad boy drives. And who do we have to thank for this wonderful opportunity? Well, I am once again back at Cary Imports. Already reviewed the Audi A7 actually, so that video probably is already up first, but no matter. If you would like to check out this vehicle, you know, it's priced like dirt cheap. I'm sure I think you still get their warranty, so if you would like to take advantage of that, definitely check out their website at the bare minimum, as I come here very often to do car reviews. So, all right, very interesting. So with that established, let's just get right into this driving review. Now this 650, I guess I should, you know, I can't really avoid talking about the way this looks, right? I absolutely love the way this looks, and that should not come to anybody's surprise. I love these like little weird looking cars. I will admit it does look, you know, a bit off, but like that's kind of what gives it exudes that expensive kind of big body coupe like vibe, you know what I'm saying? It has a lot to do with that shape. I actually like the rear end. It looks so unique. It's very different, and I appreciate that. It is based off the 5 Series of that time, and obviously the 5 Series also got some hate as well back then. But I think they've aged extremely well. There's nothing else quite like it, so that's pretty cool. And yes, I am driving with the top up, of course. It's kind of raining right now, so why wouldn't I? But dude, this thing just absolutely pulls really well. I'm definitely enjoying that motor for sure. It's got a 4.8 liter V8, no turbos, no nothing like that. This is old school BMW, where the M6 had a naturally aspirated V10. It was just an era of naturally aspirated vehicles, so I love that. It's got a nice little rumble to it. It's kind of like a it's got a character to it. It's a very like old school 8-cylinder engine, very unique. Really love that. Something special that you're just, if you want to experience something like this, you just got to go back to this generation of BMW. A new BMW is just not going to be able to give you this feel, essentially. While I'm at this light, I'll just say this, you know, even though it's a coupe, it doesn't feel super low slung. It was rather easy to get in and out of. The seats are super comfortable. I love those aspects of this vehicle. So if you're a little bit older, this is a great coupe to look into, obviously with Cary Imports warranty, of course. But I'm just saying that this is, so far, it's been a nice, comfortable experience. I do like this cabin, how it's like wrapped towards you and all that. It's like a tight cabin, but you have enough space. Like you have plenty of head space in here with this convertible top. Leg space, all that, no issues whatsoever. I mean, the back seat, don't even get me started on that. That's for duffel bags and bags of money, essentially. Stupendous power, dude. Like on paper it's only 360 horse and 360 pounds-feet of torque, but this thing is effortless. And I believe this is the 6-speed like SMG. I believe that's what this is. This thing has gotten a lot of hate. Well, like honestly, it shifts extremely well, to be honest. Like it's not a bad transmission in any way, shape, or form. In the automatic mode anyway. You know, it's got a little manual shift option here. That's a little sloppy. I don't like that. But in automatic, I'm really appreciating this thing. You know, this thing does ride extremely well, but it's like a really like connected feeling car. Like I feel like the little vibrations and stuff coming through. You'd hear like the journalists of old saying stuff like that, like, oh, like there's vibrations and stuff that translate into the cabin, but you don't really get that in today's cars, but you get that in this. And this steering rack is phenomenal. I believe this is a hydraulic steering rack. You know, in traffic with these monkeys, I mean, it feels extremely isolated. You know, I'm glad I got this convertible top because I can test out just kind of how quiet it is, and it does seem legitimately pretty isolated in here. It almost kind of reminds me of the Jaguar F-Type with that convertible top up. It feels essentially like a coupe, and you know what? The visibility in this vehicle is really excellent, actually. The mirrors are a little bit small, but they still do an excellent job. I have no issues. If you're seated correctly in this, it's no problem. It's got an excellent cockpit, like I mentioned before. I love the way this motor builds up power. This has to be like the highlight of this vehicle. Another thing with this motor, right? I mentioned that warranty, right? If you got the V10 M6, there's no way you're gonna get a cheap warranty on that. But with this vehicle, you can, because it's the regular 6 Series. It's not like some crazy, ridiculous M car. So that's another advantage to this. Yeah, this automatic is excellent when it's just an automatic mode. So I do like this. It does definitely like go down a few gears when you need it to. There's definitely no strangeness with that transmission, so that's very good. And besides, it's a 6-speed, so the good thing is that there's not a lot of gears to jump down like it is with like an 8-speed or something like that. I believe like the M6 got like a 7-speed or whatever. But dude, this is a very connected driving experience. It's a little bit louder once you get up to speed. Like there's a little bit more tire noise. There's not like really any wind noise or anything like that, but there is definitely a bit of tire noise that comes through, but definitely not bad at all. This thing weighs about 4,200 pounds, but it still has a nice planted feel. Something interesting about this car that I wasn't expecting, but it actually only has like a McPherson front strut-based suspension. Same goes for the 5 Series. Multi-link in the rear, but you know, usually vehicles of this class do come with a double wishbone suspension setup. But even still, it does ride pretty good. Definitely a bit of a choppy pavement here. However, it rides pretty good, but there's definitely a bit of creaks and rattles going on in here when you do go over the bumps. Nothing insane, but it's just something to note, I guess. But the vehicle itself is actually reasonably comfortable. This vehicle definitely communicates with you more than like a new car would, so that's really why I wanted to try out this this older BMW. It's a very rewarding experience, I'm not going to lie to you. With that motor, with the steering rack, it's definitely pretty awesome to drive. This thing can break traction though pretty easily, and the traction control system definitely does sap away some power if you do lose traction, of course. So definitely do not let the horsepower ratings, the spec sheet, definitely deter you from what you think about this vehicle. It's a lot of fun to pilot on everyday streets. I just can't believe how much car you get for the price. I mean, this was like a $70,000, $80,000 automobile when it was new, and now you can have it for a fraction of the price. Yeah, I get it. These things depreciate quite a lot. It's got about 64,000 miles. Sorry if I didn't mention that before, but that's how many miles it has. And you know, for that type of mileage, it's definitely not bad. I mean, it's not the softest riding car in the world, but it's not the harshest either. So it's got a nice little blend for sure. Even with only a McPherson front suspension, I mean, this thing does ride. I mean, this thing does handle extremely well for sure. Yeah, this thing is definitely a lot of fun to pilot. Yeah, I just love cars that just communicate with you. The brakes feel absolutely fantastic as well. Very natural. Does not feel like you're going to just burst through the windshield, so that's pretty good. As far as some of the interior goes, I don't mind this carpeting here. It's apparently got some webbing or something like that on the dash. The rest of this cabin, despite the slight little creaks and rattles I mentioned, you know, it's very solid in here. This old school BMW cabin. You got some nice little separation of the climate control here. This iDrive system, yes, it is as confusing as journalists of the time mentioned it was. This knob, right, this iDrive knob, it's kind of similar to like the Mercedes S-Class from 2013 that I reviewed. It's like, it's always stuck, like, you know what I mean? Like, it won't let you get past a certain point in the menu or whatever. It starts getting stuck on you. I feel like that has a lot to do with some of the difficulty in using this thing. But like when you turn the car off, you can like freely spin that wheel. Like, it's a very strange sensation. Yes, that is a bit weird. Some of you have to get used to if you own this vehicle, but I do like how at least the climate control stuff is pretty easy to use, and you do have heated seats in here. The glove compartment is rather small, but there is an aux port in there, which is nice. Glove box is not bad. This cup holder kind of blows. I mean, I don't know what this is. It's kind of strange, but I mean, that's kind of what you get in here. There's not a lot in terms of door pocket space. This window switch is one touch up and down for both the driver and the passenger side, so that's good. You can like roll down like these little, like, you know, half window things in the rear because it is a convertible. So if you're riding top down, you can have the whole glass situation all the way down, you know, for full pimp mode, of course. Just peg it right here. dude, this thing definitely flies, and very easy to get speeding tickets in this thing, dude. If you see me just looking around everywhere, yeah, I'm looking for the law because, dude, this car can definitely get away from you. But yeah, you know, everything in here is like simple BMW, you know, like everything's held up really well. It was a nice quality, well-built machine. The gauge cluster is super simple. It's just, I like this old school BMW. I enjoy this era of BMW. This is very nice. Yes, it still has like the slightly weird turn signal setup. The trunk, you know, that's kind of like the last thing I kind of forgot to mention that. If you like to golf, you can definitely fit some golf clubs back there because it's not a huge trunk, but it's like a very wide trunk. So like the opening is wide, so that makes it very easy to get, like, you know, well, long things like golf clubs back there, so that's good. But it's not very tall. It's not the most practical car in the world. It's not why you buy this. You buy this as like a nice pimp, like, you know, weekend car. A very enjoyable car to drive. I definitely enjoyed my time with it. Again, I know what you're thinking, but just get their warranty. Cary Imports warranty doesn't even cost a lot for the type of vehicle that this is, so I would definitely take advantage of that. I do know that for 08 they did redesign the vehicle, but hey, I mean, this car is so cheap as it is that, I mean, it doesn't really matter. Very rewarding experience. I definitely enjoyed my time with it, and hopefully you have enjoyed this review as well. I will definitely be coming back here, so definitely check out Cary Imports website, see what they get. You can definitely comment down below what I should review next. So with that, thank you very much for watching. Take care. Goodbye.